Gene's up. Let's go ask him.
Let's go.
Action.
Both Lick It Up and All Hell's Breaking Loose videos give us a glimpse of a post-nuclear world. Now, is this some of what your so-called politics would be creeping in?
This is not so much a post, what did you say, a post what?
Nuclear?
I think it's a post-nasal drip.
Post-raisin bran.
Post-haste. P-O-S-T-N-E-S.
Nestle's
Makes
is
the very best posty.
I see.
Yeah, you
We all know that you're too young to remember this, but we thought we'd throw that in anyway.
You gotta figure this, you know. A lot of people like to stand on soapboxes and do a lot of talking. If you're gonna stand on a soapbox, you might as well sell the soap. It's a lot more profitable, right?
Guy walked into a doctor's office with a frog on his head. The doctor says, "What's wrong with you?" The frog says, "There's a bump on my butt," and it just kept growing. And
With that, let's take a look at All Hell's Breaking Loose.
good idea! It's wet.
Both the Lick It Up and All Hell's Breaking Loose videos suggest a post-nuclear war. Is this some of your politics creeping in?
Actually, regarding politics, a guy goes into a doctor's office and says, "Doc, every time I do..." and says, "Doc, every time I do this, it hurts." The doctor says, "Don't do it."
I see.
We're not into like post-nuclear holocaust. We're into post-nasal drip, post-raisin bran, U.S. Postal Service, that kind of thing.
Is this how you won the twist competition in high school?
This is the way I bent over and let me be the driver.
I see.
Repeatedly.
With that, let's take a look at All Hell's Breaking Loose.
Good idea!
Watch this. Unbelievable.
Two poisonous snakes walking down the road.
Action.
Both Lick It Up and All Hell's Breaking Loose videos that you have done seem to suggest a post-nuclear war. Is this some of your politics, let's call it, creeping in? I see.
The most important thing that what you said is...
We're not into post-nuclear holocaust. We're into post-raisin bran, post-nasal drip, U.S. Postal Services, things of that sort.
What's really important is how wide it is as opposed to how long it is. I think it's very important that we go and do it backwards. Because
I understand perfectly. Now let's take a look at All Hell's Breaking Loose.
Good idea.
The politics of dancing.
I'll wait for action or go.
Action.
What about the I Love It Loud video? Isn't that a little fascist?
You know, I'm sick of hearing that kind of stuff. As far as that song being fascist, it's one of the slowest songs we've ever done.
You know, the most important thing about this song is that it's meant and designed for you to lose weight within 100 yards of this video.
You always feel, you know, with Eric, I don't know, people, let's do it again. What?
All right.
First we're supposed to do the thing about Eric.
Rolling. And action.
I'm just
Well,
an angel in the...
What about the I Love It Loud video? Now, isn't that just a little bit fascist?
That's one of the slowest songs we've ever done. You know, it's real interesting. People are always looking for hidden meanings and symbols. The only symbols we're into are the ones around Eric's drums.
You know, the only thing that this video is meant to be, I Love It Loud, that is for you to lose weight within 100 yards of this video.
You mean to tell me you play that video and people can actually lose weight while listening to it?
Absolutely can. In fact, the most amazing thing about this video is what's about to come out of Paul's mouth right now.
I think it's lunch, but no, it's going to be breakfast.
It's, okay, public service time. People, here's what we want you to do. Go over to your sets, take hold of your volume control. Now, just watch my lips, and as I continue to talk to you, just trying to make sure that you can hear me as loud as it
And action.
Well, what about the I Love It Loud video? Now, isn't that video just a little bit fascist?
Fascist? That's one of the slowest videos we've ever done. You know, people are always looking for symbols in the stuff we do. The only symbols that we're into are the ones around Eric's drums. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's irritating, isn't it? Hello.
Well, what about the name KISS itself? Does that stand for Killers and Satan's Sisters?
I think it does.
or
Keep it simple, stupid?
Keep it simple, stupid. These are the symbols you're talking about? that
Originally, it was meant, the letters did stand for something, but originally it was bend over and let me be the driver, but all those letters together didn't mean anything. So
They
we
were
had to
blumps.
call it- Yeah, that's why we had to call
Ladies and
it.
gentlemen, blumps.
That's why we had to
Now
call
I
it Kiss,
see
yeah.
Kiss. Well, with I Love It
You
Loud,
got that, though, didn't you? The depth of that
I did.
phrase. It
the
would have been...
Blimp, here comes Blimp, doesn't go as
It's
good
not
on,
right.
would sell on Ed
Not as good as
Sullivan.
Kiss.
You know, sometimes people are always saying, Kiss, you're not doing enough things for the public. And we always like to put a little public service announcement. Hey, we like to do it.
Take it from I Love It Loud. Start from the top.
Would you like a cappuccino?
Action.
Would you like a cappuccino?
A little
Gene,
twist.
let's,
I just want to make this clear. I never touched her. Thank you.
would you mind showing us your dong?
My dong.
I thought he was going to ask something like showing us your jacket. Right? And then halfway through the motion, I realized what he said.
So you don't want to show us your dong?
Again?
Would you show us yours?
Sure, here. Have you ever seen a one-eared elephant? The pockets are ripped in. What does ring ding do mean?
I don't know anything about it.
Ring ding do?
What is
Yeah.
Ring Ding? Oh, I know what it was. Ring Ding Do is a song that I supposedly wrote.
Oh, ring ding do.
Yeah.
Is that the one that you wrote that Paul got before you?
That is the one that somebody bent over backwards for, but doesn't in fact exist.
I see. How many, I'd like to ask you a favor. Would you
Yes.
sign my breast?
Left or right?
This one.
We've signed hairier breasts than that before, let me
How
tell you
many
something.
have you signed?
How many? They usually come in pairs.
I see.
Lots
a
of
couple?
those. Lots of
Well,
And our signatures, the size of our signatures, of course, depend on the writing surface.
we've been writing very small lately.
I see.
Fairly
Not a
small.
champagne.
Sometimes, however, and sometimes you can't really read the writing because it goes around tucks and turns and bends.
Well, there was a rumor circulating at one point that Ace Frehley was going to be replaced by a female guitarist. Now, why would you have wanted to do that?
Because we figure if we're gonna fuck someone, he might as well be female.
I see. That doesn't sound too absurd.
Can you ask that question again?
How many breasts are, there's a rumor circulating at one point that,
every time I inch forward, you block my light.
don't block his light.
Am I right?
Yeah.
All right.
The rumor circulating at one point that Ace Frehley was going to be replaced by a female guitarist.
I have a question.
What is that?
Who is Ace Frehley?
Frehley?
Yes.
You know, the guitarist.
Ace Frehley.
Why would you have wanted to replace him with a
Well, you
female
could have done the
guitarist?
shows on stage and then the encores back at the hotel.
And you
I
figure that
see.
if somebody's gonna act weird, at least they can blame it on the time of the month.
Which brings me to the point of kiss being a household word, like
What is that word? Kitchen or...
A household
Bottle
word.
opener.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Latex.
It seems to be. Yes.
Let's talk about makeup.
Kiss and makeup.
Okay.
Wait a minute. You have to roll back on that. I've never heard that before. You mean kiss
And
and
makeup.
makeup?
Yes. When did you first start wearing makeup?
First time Gene brought in one of his mother's dresses, we decided to go the glam route.
Did you ever do a show without the glam route?
Repeatedly.
With
and
the
in
wild route, we did it once too.
We have, in fact, repeatedly, and in the manner to which we've gone scouts.
Well, in the early days of the band, is it true that you did wear women's clothes and shave
Yeah,
your
only the
eyebrows?
women were in them at the time.
Yes.
If I'm gonna wear a woman's pants, she better be in them.
I see.
Good.
Write that down. That's a title for a song.
It's another
A
time.
woman's dress. I'm in a woman's dress.
In Rio, didn't the fans form a giant logo with candles?
And said, "Get fucked." You know.
They did, in fact, do that. And to this very day, our children are going...
It's a woman's closet.
Gene, that fire breathing bit, that's pretty wild. Did you ever set anything on fire that you didn't mean to, like
My hair,
your hair?
my clothing, my balls. things can get
That's when
pretty
we were
hot.
performing the Nutcracker Suite,
The
and it was
Nutcracker
hot.
Suite. The Fire Act is still being performed, and the fire depends on how much Italian food I have. In fact, sometimes there's an implosion where it goes out the other end. So it's all meant for show, you see. It's very good to do that.
How much of an influence on Kiss were bands like New York Dolls and the Hollywood Brats?
The Dolls were an influence. Who the Hollywood
Who
Brats
the
are,
Hollywood
I have no
Brats?
idea.
So you were able to learn from their mistakes, not
Oh,
knowing that Hollywood-
absolutely. We figured that the best thing to do is after you're finished getting ahead in the bathroom, go out and play your guitar. I mean, you got to learn to play also.
Uh-huh. What about Slade? Is it true that that's your favorite band, Gene?
I liked Slade.
Slade like you.
Well, one band you've always made it clear were an influence is the Beatles. Now, is it true back in the very early
Thank you
days?
very much. Yes, we've got to be going now. We love you.
Did you ever used to sing those songs?
If you break my heart, I'll go, but I'll be back again. 'Cause I told you once before goodbye, and I came back again. I love you so. Go ahead.
Is it true that you got involved in
Stick
rock and
to
roll?
yourself in a train or a station.
Yeah, is it true that you primarily got into
Apostasy.
rock and roll to meet girls?
We originally started playing guitar to meet girls.
I see. And
Then we got into it to eat girls. Once we got to meet them,
answer me a question about horror movies.
This is time, I think, for a PSA, a public service announcement. Girls, are you lonely? Do you like the way guitarists sound? Well, combine pleasures. Get a rock star and fuck his pants off. Thank you.
If you love someone, let them go, and if they don't come back, hunt them down and kill them.
kill them. Yeah, I always say, you know, if you break up with somebody, you figure that if you got to see them with somebody else, that's not fun. Go out and shoot them.
That's smart.
Shoot them with your love gun, not really, you know, just shoot them with a part of your body.
I told you once before goodbye.
It's the best
Were
thing
the
we've
two
done.
of you
It's
together
great.
in bands prior to coming up with the all-embracing concept of Kiss?
Did a what, huh?
Entertainment to the max, as it were, other bands that you played with. The name Wicked Lester is sometimes mentioned.
Yes,
Rainbow, too.
Yes,
yes.
What kind of music did those bands play? Is it true that
Forgettable.
Forgettable.
Very
Forgettable?
forgettable music.
I can't
It was a
remember
real
why I
interesting
even
band.
thought of it.
Well, we forgot what it was all about.
It was very interesting because we usually looked like a bunch of guys who met at a bus stop.
We did meet, in fact, at the bus stop.
Bus stops,
Stops
a
is
little
Lucy,
free
save our
seat
growth
under
my umbrella.
Ah. When you and Gene and Paul, you first got together, it was said that you didn't like each other too much.
I think Gene liked me because I'm very likable. He, on the other hand, was unbearable. He was oppressive,
Well,
pig-headed, and thought that he was
The only guy in the world who wrote songs. That's true. I thought he was...
so you basically have very different personalities.
well, I'm kind of the showy guy, and Gene's the kind of guy that likes to stay home at night and write poetry.
Can we cut this? Action.
All right, this last scene is simple. It's the time the last two videos, Heaven's on Fire and the other one, what's it called? Yeah, anyway,
do a surprise.
all you do is walk toward the camera singing the song and then we dissolve to the video, all right?
We do, huh? Eric, Bruce, come on down. Watch this.
Now we're going to these. Where are the cows? I thought they were going to join us.
Right over there, the Christmas carols, all of them.
You're not supposed to do that.
We're not supposed to do that. But here they are anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Christmas carols.
Heaven's on fire.
And 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
3.
Does this look like fun to you? This changed my life. It's a comprehensive program for dirty minds and clean bodies. Get one today. Be like me. Keep smiling.
4. 5. 6.
Gene, Paul, let me ask you some questions. Gene, tell us about your first gig at Fillmore East
Fillmore
in New York.
East. I think it was 1973.
1926.
1973. It was the first show we ever put on for invited guests, press, and so on, and parents were there too. And we were amazing. We were fantastic. We amazed ourselves. I caught my hair on fire, and at the end of the show, we came out to greet our friends and our parents, of course. And my mother ran down the aisle saying, my son, but she ran up to Paul, not to me.
Yeah, and then afterwards she came back and said, you were wonderful. Which one were you?
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
So, yeah.
That was
She's Hungarian, that accent he put on.
Yeah, that's my Hungarian accent.
All right, so you sang on street corners for tips and so on and so forth. How did you get your first record deal?
We were owed about $1,000. So the guy who owed
From
us the
what?
money, well, what were we owed money from?
We used to sing background sessions for
We-
little-known commercials that appeared on radio.
Actually, some of them were well known. One of them was for a truck company. It was the success story of the century.
the hot cars
from
from
AMC.
Buyer Protection
And
and Economy,
the hot cars from AMC.
Ba-da-da-da.
How long did you, apart
Suck us.
from the career marriage that you've got within the business, do you think you'll ever marry and have kids
I don't know.
among you four?
I don't know.
To each other?
If Gene's not willing to carry the baby, it's out of the question.
I see.
It's never going to happen to me. I know he wants 2 kids, 3 wives, and a partridge in a pear tree. I don't want any kids, no wives, none of it. I don't want somebody bringing me slippers. I don't want any of that. There are too many unhappy girls, and I consider it my duty to
To make him cry.
to make them cry. I sort of think of it as there's got to be somebody there who's like dedicated to increasing the population of the United States.
Yeah, everybody's got to find what makes them happy. And Gene is obviously a warped individual. And what can you do? I mean, I love the guy.
Repeatedly.
I respect him. You're
sure don't- I sure
you're a
don't have
fucked up guy.
Let's cut for a second. Tell us about the first video you made.
First one.
I know what would be more interesting. Why don't we tell you about the first video we made without makeup?
Without makeup? What
Well,
was
yeah, because that was real interesting. Tell us about the first video we did without makeup. Were you scared? I mean, did
that
you feel
was Lick
naked?
It Up, wasn't it?
I'll do the talking, please. Did you feel naked at all? I mean, being that you had done so many years, you were readily identifiable with the white face. Tell me about doing a video without makeup. What was that like?
It was wonderful because the very first time is always the best. But it is true that I felt I was sort of doing it without clothes because, in fact, the very first time we did it, we were, in fact, without clothes on. Good. How did you feel the first time you did it without makeup?
Okay, now I get to be the serious guy.
Okay, now
Well, I'll tell you something. It's very interesting because after having worn makeup for so long, you're actually shedding a certain part of your persona and allowing people to see a vulnerable spot of yourself that maybe they didn't know even existed.
Right over here. Spot, yeah. We have 11 minutes film. Go ahead.
Len's going, boy, wait till the guys at Polygram hear about
Do you have another
this.
question?
Okay, not bad.
Great. How did that lighting work with the?
Okay, Paul, all right, keep rolling. And, Paul, let
Right.
me ask you something.
Okay.
What's in that room upstairs?
Oh, who was that?
Yeah, who is up there?
That's the king of cash, the duke of dollars, the baron of bucks. That's Howard Marks, our business manager.
Duke of Dollars, Howard Marks is up there.
That's
Baron
who's up
Bucks,
Up there.
right up here? My God.
Action.
Hello. The show we are about to see is...
Excuse me, let's start again. I wasn't ready yet.
Well, how about some one person telling me what to do? The truth. Any more of this?
Hi, I'm Rosemary Balmas.
Okay. Where's the dog? Turning.
That's okay, he's not in there.
Turning.
I used to have like 15 dogs. And we lived in, you know,
Come on, babe. Come on, good boy.
Yes, that's right there.
Good boy.
So you want every underwear and everything on?
Yeah, the underwear's fine, just slippers here. Keep it, and then when you take your meals, and just leave your heels on. On your nails. I'm trying to do that myself, but I can't get them no longer.
They're hard to get used to. They're always down here.
Really?
Just slowly turn the profile.